I first got interested at the very start of my undergraduate placement when I did a summer school, and I learnt about a particular aquatic plant that eats insects, and I got very interested in plants from that point on. So I started off with my undergraduate and I studied biology. And then on that, I did a summer school and I did lots of placements. I did a summer placement and I also spent a lot of time in the lab as an undergrad doing free work, working for different researchers. And then after that, I sort of met a lot of people through that. And then a PhD position came up. So I decided to apply for it in something that I was really interested in. And I went off to do that. So I'm looking at how plants respond to mechanical stress. We look at plants and we can see them suffering from heat stress and temperature stress and light stress, but no one really thinks about when you tread on a plant, how is it responding to that? When you stretch a plant, how does it responding to that? I like to look at it as I'm studying how plants feel the world around them, almost putting an animalistic view on it. But I find that really interesting as we tend to view plants more statically. And I think it gives them a different dimension that I really enjoy studying. The typical day in the lab for me is kind of an oxymoron because there is no typical day in the lab. Some days I'm trying to fix a piece of equipment that's broken. Some days I'm trying to use a piece of equipment that's broken. Some days I just break the piece of equipment. Um, but in doing that, I tend to sometimes get data, and that's quite exciting. But a lot of, yeah, I mean, in general, you got to grow plants, you got to take the data on the plants, and I like work with small robots, so it's a lot of squishing and squashing plants and seeing how they're moving. It just varies so often depending on what I'm doing that day, which I really like about the work. I got a lot of contacts from a summer school, and then I sort of built up a network by attending a lot of things. I did uh, university quizzes where I met researchers. I did just went and emailed people and emailed people and emailed people. And most people don't respond, but some did. And those people is the people that I met. And then I was like, do you want to work with me? And I think your research is so cool. He's like, do you want to be friends? And then sometimes they would reply to that email again. And then I'd go and work in their lab and do some experience and explore.